Reba here. Welcome back to Gooseberry Homestead. Well, you guys, this is something I was not expecting, but I do believe I have some figs developing on my fig trees. Now, this is the first year that I have ever grown figs. I got my first fig earlier this year. It's a hardy Chicago fig. My sister bought it for me at like Home Depot or something like that. The hardy Chicago is one that's readily available. Like almost anybody can get it every year when spring rolls around. So I picked one of those up. That was like a $10, $9.99, $10, let's just be real, little tree, and I kept it indoors until it got warmer, and then I brought it outside, and now it's really taken off. It's looking really, really well. But the ones that you see in front of me are a couple that I got last month at Raintree. And I picked up the Lattarua, which is a honey Italian fig, and a Mary Lane. Now, I believe the one that's right in front of us right here, this one is the Mary Lane. And I noticed some little nodules in the little cracks near the stems that go to the leaves. And I noticed that last month while they were in the greenhouse, and then I moved them out because the leaves looked like they were getting a little bit crispy in the greenhouse. So I thought maybe it might have been a little bit too warm in there for them. So I brought them out of the greenhouse. Well, lo and behold, today I noticed on the Lattarua, which had just small nodules, back up. On the Mary Lane, I saw small nodules or nodes or whatever you want to call them last month. Now the Lattarua has small nodules. So they were like really small last month, but now those ones are a little bit more pronounced. If it makes any sense, if you're able to follow me on what I'm talking about. So I'll show you the development. And so it does look like these are little figs. So if we get in here so you guys can see, and I might try to cause like a shadow so we can see a little bit better here. And in every one of these little spots here, like there's a little fig here and a little fig there. And there's about 5 figs on this limb. And then I've got another 5 over on this limb here. Well, hopefully you guys can see these well. And I'm sitting in the sun, so it's kind of hard for me to see my phone screen. But there's about 5 on this limb here also. But they kind of just develop in the little cracks, but they're looking more like a little fig now. So I'm really excited. Now, it is August now, and I don't know when fig trees typically start showing their fruit. I picked these up at the nursery last month, and then I saw like about a few weeks after I had them, I saw the little nodules. I am just now seeing little nodules on the Lattarua over here. And so I want to come over here so you can kind of see the little nodules. Try to make it, I'm trying not to break my other fig tree so I can get in here so you guys can see what it looked like before. Let's see. Come on, focus. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. So you can see right there, the little nodule right here. Let's see. The sun is kind of hard to, there we go. So there's a little nodule. And this one didn't form very well down here in the crack on this one. And so it's not that great. So this one I don't know, I don't think is going to form. But there's a couple on this, on the Lattarua. But there's about 10 figs that are developing, maybe more, on the Mary Lane. So I'm really, really excited about that. I was not expecting that, you guys, at all. And so I just moved them right here next to the plant stand because I think the plant stand will help keep them from blowing over. And I can actually attach them to the plant stand so that they don't blow over when the wind blows. And I think I'm just going to leave them there for now until winter, and then they'll go into the greenhouse up under the edge. And I think I've actually decided where I want to put the greenhouse this winter, and I will be putting all of my my strawberry plants back into the greenhouse like I did last winter. And I'm thinking I'm just going to put them right here. I think I'm going to put it right here, up under here. And my pots that I put into the greenhouse, my strawberry pots, because they hang on the fence, there's so much dirt in those pots that they actually weigh the greenhouse down. So I don't really have to worry about it getting blown over when those are inside, because it creates weight. So I'm not worried about it blowing over right here. And then I can put all my other plants up around the edge of this overhang here, and they will, all my trees and stuff will be protected a bit more from, say, like the snow and that sort of thing when the snow comes, which generally doesn't really start falling until like January, February time, but you never know. You just never know. Every year is a little different. So the other 2 fig trees that I have are right here, and I'm going to be moving them here in a little bit, over here next to the other ones, one on either side. I think I'm going to put this one on this side because it gets a little bit more sun, and I'm going to put the Chicago Hardy on the other side. Now this one does not have a name. I do not know what variety of this fig is. This is the one that I got for free from Rain Tree Nursery, and I do believe that it is going to survive. Figs generally can root fairly easy, and there was little to no roots on this when I put it into the soil. I sprayed the root section off to see what I had to work with before repotting it, because it was already loose. It wasn't like in a pot when I got it, not fully. And so I I could just pick it up and it would, like, it was separate from the dirt, you guys. So I sprayed it off, and there was little to no roots. There was like maybe 1 or 2 small viable roots on it at the time, but not enough to cling to anything. So what I did is I cleaned it off when I did that to check out the root system, and then I packed dirt into the section up inside where the roots were, like this originally. And I packed the dirt up inside, and then I packed dirt around it to make sure no air could get into the viable roots that were still possibly there. And then I packed the dirt down as good as I could to get any air out from around the base. But we still have green a month later, okay? On the tips, they're still green, and we have some of them breaking right here. So hopefully you guys can see that. Let me see if I can make a shade here so I can see too what I'm talking about. So the tips are breaking open here now, and it looks like we're going to be having leaves forming. So I'm thinking that maybe this free plant will survive. And like a lot of times at Rain Tree, they'll have seconds. These are like discarded, possibly trees that are like could possibly be saved if somebody wants to take the time, but the nursery just doesn't have the time to focus on chance items. So they let other people take the chance. Their seconds are not guaranteed to survive. You buy at your own risk. But this one was one that was even too far gone in their eyes to even offer as a second. So I got it for free. So really excited about that, you guys. And then the Chicago is the one that my sister bought me. And so it's grown about a good 1.5 feet since I've gotten it. And I'm looking forward to it making fruit in the future. I don't think it's going to make fruit this year. Possibly we might get fruit on it next year. And again, this one I have no clue what variety it is. I do know that you can generally tell a variety of fig based on leaf shape a lot of the times. I didn't realize that figs had different leaf shapes. And so that's been something really neat to learn this year. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on collectors of figs. Like you watch some of these videos of people and they've got like 100 fig trees in container pots on their patio. Okay. So I'm not alone, you guys. I'm not the only one that's growing trees in container pots. So you guys, again, I stress to you, grow where you can, homestead right where you are. Even if you're in an apartment, you guys, don't let things keep you from starting practicing homesteading skills. Like just taking care of a plant, whether it be a house plant or an edible plant. So get in there. You can have grow lights in your home. You can grow things in your home, even without a balcony, you can grow things. So if you have a will, there's a way. You know what I'm saying? So we've been in apartments where we didn't have a balcony, and I had like one house plant, and sometimes it needed more light because I didn't have the grow lights, and I would put it right out my front door. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily the best place for it, especially the place that we were living in at the time, but nobody ever took it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever, wanted my plant. I probably could have put several plants right there and grown some plants right in that one little spot, right outside of my door. In fact, I didn't put it on the sidewalk next to my door. There was a little ledge, because our apartments that we were living in without the balcony, or without a space outside, we were in Colorado Springs. We were living in the ghetto area, and we were near motorway. So there was a lot of these 70s style apartments. They had like the galley kitchens where you open the oven door and, there's no space to walk by. Like, that door opens on your oven, and that's the space that you have to walk through in the kitchen. It was like little to no room to move in that kitchen. And but the apartment was small. It was kind of cute because it was a 70s style. It was, it was a doable. But when you would go out, because we were on the bottom floor, there was like a sidewalk that went all the way down to the end. And there was a little ledge right there because we were on the bottom floor and we were right there next to the ground. So they had like a little ledge, like a concrete ledge, on the other side of the sidewalk right in front of our front door. And I would put my plant right there on the cement ledge that they had created. And then there was a dirt space there that they weren't really growing anything in. And if I had gone and asked the owners, they might have even let me have a few plants there. So always ask your apartment complex, hey, if I have a few cute planters and I can possibly grow a few little things, right outside my door, would that be okay? Ask. Sometimes if you keep it looking really cute and it looks nice, your apartment complex might okay it. So just ask. And if they say no, no big deal. I didn't ask. I just put my plant out there, but it was only one planter. It didn't look bad. It looked nice. It looked alone, but it didn't look bad. And nobody said anything to me. I didn't have the landlords coming saying, hey, you can't have plants out here. So, and it was just one house. It was irises. It was just flowers. And at that time, that's all I was growing, you guys. I was just trying to grow flowers at the time. So it wasn't anything major. And then when we moved, I took that plant with me. And then I had a balcony at my next apartment. And so I started growing in an apartment, you guys. Okay. And then eventually we've moved, and then we were military. So we've been in different houses all over the place. A lot of the times I would end up giving away or selling my plants when I would go somewhere. And I never did get to see those irises bloom, not once. And it might have been because I was growing them in a container, and possibly because I had no idea about fertilization and I was just learning. So just grow, you guys. Just start practicing growing things, anything. And so this was basically a video about my figs and getting fruit on them. And then I kind of just went off on, just start growing. You know what I mean? Don't let your space wherever you're living say, oh, well, I can't. You know what I mean? You can always have a houseplant in your bathroom. You can always put up a little grow light that doesn't take up any space at all. You could plug it into your wall. You could fix a little anchor in your wall and hang a little grow light right above a houseplant. There's always a way, even in an apartment, you guys. So anyways, you guys, thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and click the bell button. As always, have a wonderful day, and God bless. Bye.